Hi friends, how are you? So today we will see CBC Class 10 Mathematics chapter is formulas. It's me, your TT Rao. So first chapter is the real numbers. Okay. So in real numbers, first of all we have to know few things about real numbers. So real numbers classified into two things, rational numbers and irrational numbers. This is also called squeezing numbers. So that is why it is denoted by S. So rational numbers are again two types, terminating decimal, non-terminating decimals. Okay, so terminated decimals or non-terminated decimals. So under terminated decimals we'll have natural numbers, whole numbers and integers. This already we have studied in lower classes. And non-terminating decimal, so we have recurring and non-recurring. So under non-recurring, so we can take directly 0.265 or 0.5. So non-recurring and so we have done. So recurring and non-terminating. So recurring and NTR like non-terminated and recurring. So example 0.2626 so on. Or else very frequently we'll divide 10 by 3, no? So 10 by 3 we'll get 3.3333 so on. So this is called non-terminating and recurring. Simply you can remember our NTR. So under here, so these are called irrational numbers. So irrational numbers are generally, it has three definitions which are not in P by Q form. We know it, which are not in P by Q form. And second one, non-terminating and non-recurring. So means they never end, they never repeat. Example 0. So 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 5, 2, 6, so on, like that. So no particular periodicity won't be repeated. And the third definition we can also call which are in n root n form, where n is a non-perfect natural number. It should not be a perfect square. Okay, so this is also denoted by capital S because they are squeezing numbers. This is the first point. Second point, so we have Euclid division lemma. Euclid division lemma, anyway it is diluted for 2021 for the academic year. So this is Euclid division lemma, which is comparatively when you think about this, so it is it's a kind of a division algorithm. Okay, so A is equal to BQ plus R. Okay, A is equal to any number, B is a divisor, Q is quotient, R is equal to remainder. Or the same thing, you can write A is equal to means any number, D is equal to divisor, Q is equal to quotient, R is equal to remainder, where the condition is 0 less than or equal to remainder but less than the divisor. So this is the condition. What about A and B? So A and B, they belongs to positive integers, and Q and R, they belongs to whole numbers. Okay, so this is just keep it in mind, no need to write in the exam, but you have to write this and this. Anyway, 2021 this batch students, you don't have this, so no need to concentrate. So next point, third thing, fundamental theorem of arithmetic. So fundamental theorem of arithmetic. So based on this you can expect the questions. Fundamental theorem of arithmetic. So what is that? Simply let us understand, it has big definition. So what is that? So if you take any composite number, let us composite number, any composite number can be written as product of primes. So that is called fundamental theorem of arithmetic. So for your understanding, I am taking one example. Let us suppose 12 is there. 12 I can, if you factorize, you will get 2 2s are 4, 4 3s are 12. So 12 only, but I have written as a product of primes. So 2 into 2 into 3. So this is nothing but fundamental theorem of arithmetic. So now let us learn about other different types of numbers. What are they? Composite numbers. What is a composite number and co-prime number and prime number? So composite number is very simple to remember, which has greater than 2 factors or else 3 or more factors. 3 or more factors. See, you see C is a third alphabet in English, third letter. So 3 or more factors, it is nothing but composite number. So whenever you see composite number, you can remember family. Family means father should be there, mother should be there, child should be there. So 3 members means then only we will call mostly family. So 3 or more factors, it is composite number. So 4 is the least composite number because it has factors 1, 2, 4. And so 6, and 6 also is there. 7 is not possible. 8, 9, 10, 12. So these are actually composite numbers. Now what is a prime number? Prime number is important for you, even it is useful for probability also. So because there also you will be asked. Okay, right. So what are prime numbers? Next point number 5. So prime numbers which has only two factors. Okay, now exactly two factors, then they are called prime numbers. And it also has a definition of any number that is factor one and itself. So that is also called prime number. So 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17. Okay, so 19. So these are all prime numbers, so on. Okay, but one thing I want to tell you, from 1 to 50 how many prime numbers are there means very simple. Just strike out this number, together you write the numbers 15. And 50 to 100 how many prime numbers are there means, so strike out the last digit. We cannot, 50 is not possible, only 10 is possible. So 10. Altogether we have 25 prime numbers from 1 to 100. Remember, this is important. So 1 to 100 there are 25 prime numbers are there. So these are prime. Next, sixth point. So co-prime numbers. This is helpful for exercise 1.3 because prove that root 2 is an irrational. Co-prime. What do you mean by co-prime? Okay, now. So co means 2. Prime means need not to be prime. So co-prime, two numbers are said to be co-prime if they have one as a factor, one only factor, no extra factor, only one should be factor. Or else same thing can be written HCF of any two numbers. Okay, HCF of any two numbers is equal to 1, so they are called co-prime. Or else GCD, greatest common divisor of any two numbers, is equal to 1, then also they are called co-prime. So these are also called relative prime. They are relatives. Relative prime. They are relatives by what? Generally relative means bond should be there. So both are relatives by one bond. One nothing but so one should be a factor, co-prime. So let us take one example so that you can understand. So I have 10 and 9. So 10 is divisible by 10, 1 and 10. So 9 is divisible by 1, 3 and 9. So both are divisible by 1. So therefore both are bonded by 1. So therefore these are co-primes. And every prime number, let us suppose pair of any two prime numbers always co-prime because they are divisible by 1 and 2. Here 1 and 3 both have one only factor, no extra factor, only one should be a factor. One means number 1. Okay, next seventh point. So terminating and non-terminating decimal. So how can you say any fraction, any rational number is a terminating decimal? So only thing is if the denominator is equal to in the form of 2 power m into 5 power n, it is terminating. 2 power m, 5 power n. So non-terminating. So how can you say non-terminating? So if the denominator cannot be in the form of, denominator should be 2 power m into 5 power m. These two you can interchange. So I will give you one logic here how to remember forever terminating and non-terminating. So here 2 can be, let us suppose, let us think about so if for Telugu people wife. Okay, wife is a 2 letters. Okay, now so 5 letters, suppose husband, HUSBAND, husband. So consider these are 5 letters. So in order to run family, either wife should be there in a family or a husband should be there. Both are there, that is also very pleasing. So house can be run very easily. So wife is there, husband is there. In between any third person will come, again problem begins. So problem begins with a third person. So other than 2 and 5, so if you have any prime number in the denominator, that you should be try to avoid by cancellation. If not possible, so then directly you can say which is a denominator is not in the form of 2 power m into 5 power n, so it is non-terminating. So like that you can decide. Next, eighth one, very important. So any two numbers a comma b are any two numbers, then LCM into HCF is equal to product of two numbers. So this is the formula, or the same formula you can write like this also. LCM of a comma b into HCF of a comma b, so is equal to product of two numbers. And remember one important point, this formula is not applicable when there are three numbers, three or more numbers. If I want to calculate HCF comma LCM of 10 comma 20, I can use this formula nicely. But if I have 10, 20, 30, then I cannot use the formula. This formula is not possible when there are more than two numbers. Remember, very important, which is already asked in the year 2019. So three numbers he has given, and he said whether it is possible to calculate HCF or LCM using this formula or not, he asked. So then what we have to say, what is the solution? It is not possible, you have to write. And we can calculate using prime factorization method. This is also called fundamental theorem of arithmetic. So remember, so this is also called prime factorization method. You can use when there are three or more than three numbers, prime factorization method or fundamental theorem of arithmetic. Okay na? Please take care. So next chapter is the polynomials, very important chapter. Only in this academic year 2021 we have only two exercises. First exercise is just a graphical one only, so that is why let me discuss. So you have straight line, this is a graph, and you have parabola like this, and so you have one more parabola like this. So how many zeros are possible? So he will ask, that is the first exercise. So then in that case only thing is you have to identify at which places the graph is intersecting. Here this graph is intersecting y-axis, so no zeros, no zeros. Here even graph also not intersecting x-axis, no zeros. Here also in this case also no zeros. And here the graph parabola is intersecting x-axis at 2 points, so two zeros are possible, two zeros. And here this is a cubic polynomial graph, so which is intersecting at three places, so it has three zeros. Done. So with this first exercise, so 2.1 is completed. Now so second point important, so nth degree polynomial, so which is important, nth degree polynomial, so which is denoted p of x. Polynomial generally can be written by p, and x is equal to x number of terms in terms of x. Now when you see it, a power 0 x power n, a power a1 x power n minus 1, here a0 x power n, a1 x minus 1, and plus a2 x power n minus 2, so on. So if you keep on writing an x power n minus n, x power n minus n is equal to 0. So because x power n minus n is equal to x power 0, which is equal to 1. So that is why I am not going to write. And because of this reason, any constant of degree is equal to 1. Be careful. So what is the degree of 2 means? 2 can be written as 2 into 1, which is equal to 2 into 1 can be written as x power 0. So we take degree as a x variable power only. So that is why so constant degree is equal to 0. So this is the nth degree polynomial. So a0 should not be 0, and a0, a1, a2, so on are called up to an are real coefficients. So they belongs to real numbers or real coefficients. So next third point. So p of x is a polynomial. So is a polynomial. Then if k is a 0 of polynomial, so then p of k is equal to 0, means when you substitute this number in this, the result is equal to, or remainder is equal to 0. Next point number 4, ax square plus bx plus c is a quadratic polynomial because degree is equal to 2, so that is why it is called quadratic polynomial. Here highest power is equal to n, that is why it is called nth degree polynomial. So this is quadratic polynomial. Then it has two zeros, so it has two zeros. Okay. So if alpha comma beta are two zeros, so first formula very important, sum of zeros can be denoted by alpha plus beta, which is equal to minus b by a. What is b? X coefficient, and a is equal to x square coefficient. And product of zeros alpha into beta is equal to c by a, constant by x square coefficient. Interestingly, denominator is x square coefficient, denominator always same, though it is quadratic or cubic polynomial. Let us take next one more formula, one more polynomial. P of x is equal to cubic polynomial. So very simple to write cubic polynomial. Simply ax cube, abcd, if you write that is enough. Abcd, ax cube plus bx square plus cx, that's it. D. A should not be 0, so that is the main condition. Here also a should not be 0. What will happen? If a is equal to 0, x square also will be vanished, bx plus c, which is a linear polynomial. So that is the reason. Here also x cube coefficient should not be 0. So make important. Now sum of zeros, same formula, minus b by a only, same as previous one. And product of sum of the zeros of the product. Sum means plus. Product of the zeros alpha, beta, beta, gamma, gamma, alpha is equal to c by a. And last one alpha, beta, gamma is equal to minus d by a. So denominator is same denominator, same here, same denominator, same. Only minus b bcd, alternative plus or minus b plus c minus d, like that. Okay. And so very frequently asked one question is there, so that also we will see what is that. So if ax square plus bx plus c is a quadratic polynomial, find alpha beta are two zeros, find the value of 1 by alpha plus 1 by beta. Very important and easy question. So nothing is there, take the LCM and cross multiply. Beta into 1 is equal to beta, and alpha into 1 is equal to alpha. So that is nothing but alpha plus beta by alpha beta, because beta plus alpha nothing but alpha plus beta. You know it, alpha plus beta is equal to sum of zeros, which is minus b by a, and product of zeros is equal to c by a get cancelled, finally we'll get b by c. That's it, that is the answer, very simply. In case of cubic polynomial, 1 by alpha, 1 by beta, 1 by gamma. So take the LCM, alpha plus beta gamma will be LCM. If alpha is there, beta alpha will come here. Okay, and beta is there, so alpha gamma will come, and gamma is there, alpha beta will come. Finally we'll get the sum of the product of zeros. Here you can see here, this one. So the same formula, alpha beta, beta gamma, gamma alpha, c by a. So that you can write here c by a by so alpha beta gamma is equal to minus d by a. So a get cancelled, will get minus c by d. Though it is a minus in denominator, you can take it to numerator also, minus of c by d. So that's it. That is very important. Now next point is seventh point, division algorithm. So division algorithm you can compare with Euclid division lemma. So in this we have dividend is equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder. So same thing, let p of x and g of x are the two polynomials, then so this the relation exists like this. P of x dividend is equal to divisor g of x, and quotient is equal to q of x, and plus remainder is equal to r of x. So this is called division algorithm. So now here condition, divisor always less than or equal to p of x. It may be less than or equal to p of x. Okay, let us suppose if I have x cube, if I want to divide x square, it is possible, means less than. Though it is x cube also I can divide, because x cube 1 is x cube. So remainder is equal to 0, that is the condition, and the remainder r of x is equal to 0. And we have degree of, sorry, so this is a degree, degree of, here also degree. So degree of r of x, degree of r of x less than or equal to degree of g of x. Okay, remainder degree always less than or equal to, so the divisor. So that's it. Okay, forget about all these condition, only concentrate to this formula, and this dividend is equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder. Okay, next, right. So next, pair of linear equations in two variables. So general form or standard form is equal to, so linear equation in two variables I have written using x variable and y variable here. C is a constant. So same equations I have written here. but the difference, we are taking two pair of linear equation, pair. So since it is first equation, a1x b1y c1, a2x b2y c2, so where a1 should not be equal to 0 or b1 should not be equal to 0, simultaneously both should not be equal to 0. And one more condition, a1 square plus b1 square should not be equal to 0. Okay, so and a2 square and b2 square, a2 square plus b2 square should not be equal to 0, that is the condition. So both should not be simultaneously not 0, and as well as a1 square plus b1 square should not be, sum of these two should not be 0. So first of all we have to understand what is a linear equation. So linear equation generally is a first degree equation. So like for example, so ax plus b is the first linear equation, first degree linear equation using one variable. So any linear equation, example x plus 3 is equal to 0, which has only one solution. So one variable is equal to one solution, remember this is very important. So linear equation in two variables, so ax plus by plus c is equal to 0, example x plus y is equal to 7. So this is two variables, many solutions, be careful, many solutions. So now our topic is not actually linear equation. So linear equation can be written one variable, two variables, three variables also. So but here pair of linear equation, pair means two we have to take. So when you take pair, three types of solutions possible: one solution, many solutions, and no solution. Okay, so one solution, many solution, and no solution. So only three types, whereas one variable one solution, two variables two solution. Here a pair of linear equations when we take, we get three types of solution. What are they? Let us see. So when you compare here general form, so we, based on the coefficients we can take. So this is the second point. So a1 by a2 is not equal to b1 by b2. So whenever you get any linear equations this type of format, so then we'll get intersecting lines. So we'll get intersecting lines. Okay, so intersecting lines, when the intersecting lines graph generally will be like this. So these are, and I have to tell you, so linear equation also can be called as straight line. Okay, now because we get a graph as a straight line, so or system of equations also we can say. So intersecting lines means intersecting lines we get because of the equations are like that. So condition is a1 by a2 not equal to b1 by b2, both are intersecting at one point. One point means one solution. Okay, now remember, so one point means one solution and it is consistent. Whenever you have a solution, so they can be called as consistent. Second type, so this is the first one. Second type, when you think, so a1 by a2 is equal to b1 by b2 and equal to c1 by c2, means a1 by a2 x coefficients ratio, y coefficient ratio, constant ratio is equal, so then they are called coincident lines. Coincident lines, they are also called dependent lines because, so first graph, second graph is completely based on the first line. So dependent lines. Okay, now one is dependent on others, dependent lines. So how we get the graph? We get the graph like this. So one upon the other, so same graph, but upon that we will get one more thing. So what is that? One more line we will get. So these are called coincident. They are intersecting at many points. These are all contact points. So therefore we get many solutions, and hence it has solution. It is called consistent. So that's it, consistent. Now third type, we have a1 by a2 is equal to b1 by b2 but not equal to c1 by c2. See why we are coming to c1 by c2. Here the initial step only not equal, so that is why no need of checking c1 by c2. Here both are, when both are equal you have to check for the third. Here also both are equal, check for the third one. So when last is not equal, so these are called parallel lines. So parallel lines, so you can get the graph like this, no touch, no contact, they won't intersect. So that is why no solution, hence there is no solution. These are called inconsistent. Okay, inconsistent. So questions will be asked definitely. So on this thing, comparison and using the ratios and decide whether they have intersecting lines or coincident lines or consistent or inconsistent. Such questions you can expect in the exam, so be careful. And also so questions will be asked like this. One missing value will be given, like 2x plus 3y plus 7 is equal to 0, and 2x or else 2x minus ky plus 8 is equal to 0. If these two lines are intersecting lines, find value of the k. So such questions are very very important. And one more point I have to tell you here. So provided there is an equation is given, already one equation is given. So like 2x plus 3y plus minus 8 is equal to 0 is the given question. So what you will ask, write one more equation so that they have intersecting lines, parallel lines, coincident lines. So intersecting lines I am writing. So intersecting line, very simple. Say write the same thing, only in place of plus keep minus. So 3y minus 8 is equal to 0. In case of coincident lines, so coincident lines, simply just double this, 4x plus 6y minus 16 is equal to 0. In case of parallel lines, so parallel lines, just write the same thing, 2x plus 3y, but instead of 8 you write the next roll number 9 or preceding number. So minus 9 is equal to 0. So if you verify first equation and second equation, we will get a1 by a2 2 by 2 which is equal to 1, b1 by 2 is equal to plus 3 by minus 3 which is equal to minus 1. So plus 1 and minus 1 not equal, so hence it is satisfied. Like that you can verify. Okay. So we have a few formulas, application questions on this. So that is nothing but speed, time and distance, because 7 or 8 types of questions we can get. So speed into time, I don't have place, so that is why I'm shifting d to the ups numerator. So here if I want speed, you can write speed, if you want d by t, distance by time.